Back at Naturopath, thanks for coming back. A question I got asked recently is Dicyclomine any good for irritable bowel syndrome? Dicyclomine, I think, is another name for it. There are various names for dicyclomine. You go to Wikipedia, you can read about it. So this is a drug that's been used now probably since the 50s for irritable bowel syndrome. It's basically a muscle relaxant, so it works by blocking receptors so they can't receive this neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. It's pretty dumb, if you ask me, to do stuff like this. It's just a crazy idea, using drugs to actually work on nerves and muscles to slow things down and block things and relax things. For goodness sakes, this is what people need to be doing themselves instead of drugs need to be doing that, you know. drugs. I mean, we're basically dying in an ocean of drugs on this planet when you think about it. All these chemicals. 50% of IBS is stress. That's not me speaking, that's the top world experts in integrative medicine speaking in America. Dr. Gaby, for example. Dr. Gaby has long been talking about irritable bowel syndrome being a garbage can diagnosis for, you know, something else that's going on in the person's life. So to me, it's a little bit like you've got a big problem. You're not willing to look really at the causes of the problem, but you're willing to grab any kind of solution that gives you some kind of quick remediation, quick relief. But drugs are not the answer for IBS. I don't care what kind of drug they are. They're usually going to have an effect on relaxing different parts of the body, but also they can stimulate other parts. So very typical side effects from this drug, for example, can be feeling hot or flushed, can be feeling sick or nauseous, lethargic, dopey in the brain, poor coordination mentally, severe constipation, worsening of irritable bowel syndrome. Like, you can actually get a serious increase of the symptoms that you're trying to mitigate with this drug. The crazy thing with many drugs is they actually create the same symptoms that they're supposed to cure, okay? So the only drug, in my opinion, that you want to be on is eating good food. That should be your drug, because food should be a medicine when you think about it. So 50% of irritable bowel syndrome cases are stress. Why aren't we looking at that 50% straight up to see what's causing this for that person? Why aren't we really looking at the causes of IBS, you know, which could be a food allergy, could be food intolerance, you know, there could be something going on in that person's life. There are tons of pharmaceutical medications that actually cause irritable bowel syndrome. So to take a drug for XYZ disease that causes IBS, and then you take another drug to stop the IBS, I mean, how dumb could it be? You know, it's like taking out lots and lots of small, you know, loans from loan sharks to pay off a mortgage. You know, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. So is dicyclomine any good for IBS? Well, this is my opinion. I don't think it's any good at all. I think that a person who's taking this drug will be better off going to a doctor who's actually got a real interest in helping that person overcome their IBS, not just to put a band-aid, you know, on a broken bone. It doesn't really work, does it? You keep putting band-aids on broken bones, you'll never fix the bone, will you? Your call. Thanks for tuning in.